In this video, I'm going to break down the indie comics that I am reading or think you should be checking out on Final Order Cutoff. This Final Order Cutoff is on July 4th for the indie comics in the Diamond Previews World catalog. So let's start at the top. If you're following along on the Final Order Cutoff page on the Previews World website, we'll start at the top and go down from there. So first up is the Image Comics. And the first one I have on here is I Hate This Place, number 3, from Kyle Starks, Artyom Topolin, and Lee Lowridge. I have loved the first two issues of this. I can see that this is going to get pretty crazy coming up. And I think this is one everyone should be checking out for the it's got this horror vibe, but it's also just a fun time so far. Definitely enjoying the artwork on the interior, and see this is getting pretty crazy, pretty creepy, and we'll see where they take us. I love this cover with the help underneath the ground, so hopefully that's maybe giving us foreshadowing of something going on with what's going on with the land there. Moving forward, another one from Image Comics is Magic Order Volume 3, number 1, Mark Millar and Gigi Kavango. This one I have loved. I love the first volume. Fantastic. So well done. Such good twists. And then Volume 2, maybe, I don't know if it was, now I'm used to Mark Millar's writing a little bit more. I wasn't quite as surprised by some of the stuff going on, but I loved it as well. And now we're back for Volume 3. And we're going to get a new character in this. We're going to meet the Asian chapter of the Magic Order. We've met the American and the British members, including a brilliant new major player in the upcoming live-action Netflix show, Sammy Liu. So, Netflix show coming soon for Magic Order, and this show is not sticking to just the first volume. It sounds like it is bringing in one of these Asian chapter members, and he is going to make his first appearance here. So I think this is worth checking out for the story, but if you are a collector, speculator, there's something for you there too. Moving forward with Image is Public Domain number 2 from Chip Zdarsky. Issue 1 was fantastic, and the last page reveal, twist, whatever you want to call it, Bombshell Revelation, as they say in the description. Yeah, I think this is almost too real, because creators are treated like the way that this is depicting them in this, and that even though they created these characters, the artist and the and it seems like in this the writer's getting more credit than the artist, even though they were both part of that process, they don't get the money from it. The actors get so much money, but the creators don't get anything, or minimal amount. And this is looking like, this is the way to address this. And Sammy Sakam apparently is the one person who can help here. So we will see what happens here. The presumably hit series by Chip Zdarsky. I think this is going to be a great series. I enjoyed issue number 1 that came out this week. Fantastic. Next up, Radiant Black is on to issue number 16. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. Piece by piece, Marshall has managed to dismantle the Epic Front Empire. And it's epic looking cover here. We're going to see some showdown shift, playing a big role in the story, playing an even bigger role in the next one on the list, Radiant Red, number 5 of 5. Cherish Chen, Darko Lafuente, and Miguel Muerto putting this one out. This is the miniseries finale. Been pretty enjoyable series about Radiant Red. I think I've been liking Radiant Black more than Radiant Red, but it's been cool to see some of the reason behind why Radiant Red did what she did in Radiant Black, in the situation that she found herself in all the bank robberies. So the motivations are more clear, and I like that. But I definitely feel like I have enjoyed Radiant Black overall more than this miniseries. And because we're just talking about the Radiant Black universe, Rogue Sun number 6 here from Ryan Parrott and Abel. This is the end of the story arc. So volume 1 of Rogue Sun ending here, and I've really enjoyed Rogue Sun as well. All of these I'm highly considering moving to reading in the future in trade paperback form. I really am enjoying this, but I am reading a lot of things right now. And so for me, it might be easier to pause, condense, and read the future stories from this universe in trade paperback form. I haven't decided yet, but this may be a good stopping point coming up. Moving down into Boom Studios, I've got House of Slaughter number 7 here from James Tynion, Sam Johns, Werther Deladera, Letizia Cardonici, and Raphael Albuquerque doing this cover here. After his shocking discovery of what is actually lurking in the town, Edwin is faced with a choice that will change his life forever. Wait for a black mask to arrive and risk losing the monster, or take on the creature himself. Discover Edwin's story and dive deeper into the expanding world of something killing the children with the Scarlet arc of the House of Slaughter. I like that we're getting these arcs that are showing more of the House of Slaughter, more of the characters that we maybe are hiding in the background. You might come across, but you don't really get to talk about them a lot, and this is really getting us to explore that and see that, and I love that. I love that they're doing that. So next up, it's not a comic, but it is on Final Order Cutoff. This was supposed to have come out, I want to say this past January, so we're like 6-7 months past when it was going to come out, and it's probably because of shortages of cardboard, paper, whatever. But it's the Something's Killing the Children short box. And the reason I want to point this out is that this box, this idea for this box did not exist until we had Ross Ritchie on the channel. I'll link our interview with him here. And Caroline and I brought it up. We're like, hey, you know, it'd be really cool is if there was a short box for Something's Killing the Children. And he wrote it down. And several months later, it was in the previews catalog, and now here it is on Final Order Cutoff. A little bit of a delay from when it was in the catalog, but I think this is cool. Shops get them in packs of 5, so if your shop doesn't want to get 5 of them, they may not order them. But I asked my shop to get them, so hopefully I can pick one up and show it off. I love it. I love the series, so this is a good way to kind of keep it all together in one spot. But yeah, that is on Final Order Cutoff as well. Moving in on Boom, I think this is the last one for Boom for me. We Only Find Them When They're Dead, number 12. Number 11 came out hot. Like, I'm happy with where 11 started and who is still in the story and where the story's going. I feel like we're coming back a little full circle. I think this is supposed to be the last arc, so this is interesting. That is number 12. I believe they've been 5-issue arcs, so we don't have much more of this series, but 5-issue arcs to talk about the a certain time period, and each jump between arcs has been 50 years. So we are well past that original time period, and it's still going strong. Next up, we got from Dark Horse Comics, Jenny 02, number 3 of 4, from Dave Dwanch, Brockton McKinney, and Magenta King. This one, if you love kaiju, you're gonna love Jenny 0, because it's kaiju fighting and, a little bit of Ultraman action in there, but Jenny is not the typical kaiju fighter with responsibilities. She's kind of headed that way, but she's really been someone who's not wanted to be that person, and I think that twist on the genre is fantastic and really really takes this story somewhere else that other stories in this genre do not. Also from Dark Horse is Pearl Volume 3, Issue 3 of 6, from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos. This one I have not read 1 and 2 yet. 2 just came out this week, but I loved the first, I read the first 6 issues or so, and I have all of the first 12 issues, and I need to finish reading them, but I haven't read this volume yet because I want to catch up everything. It just hasn't happened yet. But highly recommend the world based on what I read from the first part. And it's Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos. They do some excellent stuff together. So worth checking out for that reason alone. So now we're down to the bottom section, the comics and graphic novels section. This is where smaller publishers are. Publishers that don't have the premium space, I guess. And first up on that list is from Black Caravan Comics. This is from Scout Comics, their imprint, their horror imprint. We get Broken Souls Ballad, Hell is for Kids, number 3 from Massimo Rossi and Ludovico Serragati. Just phenomenal first volume of this. I've loved this second volume so far. I think issue 2 hasn't come out yet. I think it's coming out next week and will probably be in my top picks for next week. So stick around for that coming up in a day or two. And I just love Massimo Rossi's writing. He wrote Nobody's Child from Behemoth as other recent one. He also Locust from Scout Comics. So those are kind of the recent ones that have been coming out. But I've been reading a lot of his stuff now, and I love his writing style, and I think this is a very intriguing story about mental illness and people kind of almost exploiting that to have these kids become weapons and mutated and all kinds of things. So it's a really cool story. Broken Souls Ballad, number 3, Hell is for Kids. A new one from Scout Comics on Final Order Cutoff this week is Eternus, number 1, from creators Andy Serkis and Andrew Levitas. 360 CE, the great god Zeus is long dead, brutally murdered in his own temple some 30 years prior. Heracles, Zeus' son and champion, spends his day drunk and depressed as the old gods struggle to stay alive after decades of Christian disruption. When Athena's temple is sacked by a mysterious centurion looking for a powerful relic that once belonged to Zeus, the old gods are convinced that they have found Zeus' killer. Now, the mighty Heracles must sober up long enough to keep the lone witness, a 9-year-old blind priestess, alive long enough to identify the killer and finally find justice for his dead father. The main cover features beautiful Rob Pryor wraparound artwork. And it looks like Carl Moline and Andy Owens are listed on art credits. Also lists writers Don Handfield and Anastasia Davis. So quite a team here putting this book out. Carl Moline's artwork is fantastic. If you haven't seen any of his before, definitely want to check it out. Just great artwork. So this is pretty cool. Andy Serkis being involved in this. This is a comic that he wanted to write. So we get another celebrity writing a comic, which is interesting. But it sounds like a really intriguing story as well. Next up, Fox and Hare, issue number 2 on FOC. This was supposed to be on FOC last week. It got moved. It may move again. I'm hoping that's not the case. But I will say FOC books shift almost from day to day, it seems like. And I am recording this a little bit earlier, so it may change again. So no promises that some of these are going to still be on here, but as of time of recording, these are the ones on Final Order Cutoff. Fox and Hare issue number 1 was fantastic. John Sway and Stacey Lee putting out a great comic here. This one, I don't know if I should believe that it's actually on FOC, and that is Giga issue number 5. Giga started in the fall of 2020, I think. And I don't remember what's going on anymore. It's still on my pool list because I want the last issue and I want to go back and read it all together. Alex Packnadel and John Lee with Roche and Bidikar doing the letters, Roche doing the colors. I don't know. I really enjoyed it when I was reading it, but it's been so long, I'm going to have to do a reread to even remember anything about what's happened. But this is supposed to be the last issue, so fingers crossed, stays on FOC. Fingers crossed it comes out August 3rd, which is what the listed date is right now. These are books coming out either July 27th or August 3rd right now. And Good Boy Volume 2, Number 3, also on Final Order Cutoff here. Issue 2 came out this week. I have not gotten to read it at time of recording this, but Garrett Gunn, Christina Blanche, and Kit Wallace have been putting out an excellent story here. So I have no doubt that this is going to continue to be fantastic all the way through. From Black Mass Studios, this one it's been a little while since we've had an issue come out, and that's Hecate's Will, issue number 5 here from Yolanda Zanfardino. Changing the world for better, even if only for something that seems insignificant at the moment, will be the mark we'll leave in this reality anyway, and it will be enough to repay us for any sacrifice. Will our Hecate accomplish her mission to save another's life, and will other New York City artists, activists, and outsiders be able to save hers? There is no image put up right now for the cover art, but this is listed as coming out July 27th, so we shall see. Next up on here is Hit Me, issue number 5 of 5, last one for this series, from AWA Upshot, written by Krista Faust, with art from Priscilla Petrades and Marco Lesko, with, of course, another awesome Jeff DeCall cover here. Just a phenomenal series. I have not read issue number 4 yet. Came out this week. But the first 3 issues were phenomenal and well worth it. Very cinematic feel to it. And just a series that I definitely wish was not ending. But maybe, depending on how it ends, maybe we'll get another volume. Coming in, we got Behemoth Comics Kingdom Come Deliverance number 1. This is based off of the video game. This is a prequel to the video game, written by Brett Murphy, the writer of Paranormal Hitman. We had him on the channel. You can check out that interview here where we talked about Kingdom Come Deliverance. Wilson Gandolfo on the artwork, also the artist on Paranormal Hitman. So they're teaming up again for this. Lots of cool covers on this one. If you haven't played the video game, don't worry. I've read issue number 1. It's fantastic. You do not need to understand the video game to appreciate the story, but it may enhance some things with the story and recognizing some characters that do cross over. But I really enjoyed the issue without having played the game, and then I've started playing the game, and I have a vague idea of who one of the characters is. I'm not that far into the game, but definitely worth checking out. Kingdom Come Deliverance just seems like it's going to be a fantastic video game adaptation comic. Next up, Lunar Room number 4 from Vault Comics, Danny Lore, Georgia Sposito. Another one from Vault that I've been really enjoying, but it's been a while since an issue's come out. So maybe we've been having some, whoever their printer is having some delays, but I miss seeing some of these coming out. So hopefully these hold, and these are the FOC dates, and a lot of Vault will be coming out on August 3rd if that's the case. And lastly, also from Vault, is Shadow Service number 14 from Kevin Scott and Corin Howell. I don't ever hear anyone else talking about this series, but it's fantastic. Kevin Scott, writer of Star Wars High Republic. Just I'm loving this world that he's created. The MI666 I think is just genius and hilarious. But I think I can't remember, but I think they've been 6-issue volumes, and so we're only I think 2 issues have come out from this volume. So this will be the 3rd one, coming out at a decent pace right now. But the first 2 have trades out, first 2 volumes, so highly recommend going and checking those out. But yeah, like I said in the middle of this video, if these dates are subject to change up until Final Order Cutoff on Monday, July 4th. A lot of shops are going to be closed on July 4th, probably. So you may want to make sure you get your orders into your shop by July 3rd, by that Sunday, if they are open on Sundays. And let them know if any of these series interest you. There aren't really too many number 1s coming out on Final Order Cutoff this week. A lot of continuing indie series, established properties. I think Eternus was a number 1. I think that was really the only Eternus, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Magic Order Volume 3 number 1. It's kind of a number 1. Were the 3 number 1s. So rest our continuing series. So if you see any that sounded interesting, go pick up the first couple issues of it and check it out, or volumes if it's something like Shadow Service or Magic Order. So thank you guys for watching. As always, collect what you love, and see you next time.